NotebookLM just got 6 major updates in 1 week. New AI model, new output types, new ways to research, present, and synthesize your information, all from your own sources. And almost nobody is talking about the one change that matters the most. Because this update didn't just add features, it turned NotebookLM into a completely different tool. If you're still using it the way you used it 3 months ago, you're maybe at about 20% of what this app's really capable of. Here's everything that changed and exactly how to use it. Let's start with the change that affects everything else. Google just swapped NotebookLM to Gemini 3.1 Pro. That's the same model behind Gemini's most advanced reasoning, and now it's going to be present in every one of your conversations. But the model swap isn't the real story. The real story is what they did with the context window. NotebookLM can now process up to 8 times more information from source material. That means if you have a notebook loaded with 40 different research documents, your own notes, sources you're pulling from, the AI will now be able to reason with context across all of those. The old version would quietly ignore sources you had in your notebook once the storage got too big. You'd ask a question and only get a vague answer because it was reading only part of what you actually had uploaded. That's gone. On top of that, conversation memory got 6 times longer. You can now have an extended back and forth, refining on your own notes, constantly drilling, and improving your own outputs. All of that without the AI forgetting what you said 30 minutes ago. Google stated that this led to a 50% increase in the response quality across notebooks. After testing it myself, I'd honestly say they're underselling it. The answers have become sharper, more specific, and I can literally feel NotebookLM pulling more context from the past. But a better engine only matters if you truly understand how to steer the wheels. And the next update gives you way more control than you had before. NotebookLM has always allowed you to put custom instructions in the settings. Tell it how to respond, what tone to use, and what role it's playing. The main problem I had with this was the character limit. 500 characters was all the instruction you could provide. It's enough to say respond like a finance analyst, but not much else. But the limit just went from 500 characters to 10,000. That's a 20 times increase. And this changes what NotebookLM actually is. With 500 characters, you had a chatbot that happened to read your documents. With 10,000 characters, you can build a specialized tool that's going to help you achieve your goals much more efficiently. Here's exactly what I mean. Instead of writing a 2-sentence instruction like be brief with your tone and act as a researcher, now you can actually give it a full job description. You can tell it to flag contradictions across the different sources. There's so much more you can do, but the main idea here is that it's the same exact tool, but it has different output. And there's already a GitHub repository where people are sharing amazing NotebookLM job description prompts that you could copy for free. These are already tested instruction prompts that range from student researcher, business analyst, and content creator. This one change of increasing the character limit turns every notebook into an actual tool. Same exact documents viewed from a completely different lens, pending your own instructions. But so far, we've been doing a lot of talking about the chat side. We're going to switch gears and focus on the output. NotebookLM's Studio panel is where you turn sources into actual deliverables. And 3 new output types just changed what's actually possible inside of NotebookLM. Number 1, data tables, and this is going to be the one that most people sleep on. Before this update, there was a lengthy process if you wanted to create a data table. You'd ask the chat to format a table, copy and paste it into a different spreadsheet, and 9 times out of 10, the spreadsheet wouldn't take the data correctly. But data tables completely fixes that. You tell NotebookLM exactly what you want to compare. You can look at different methodologies between different sources you're looking at. You can look at the results. You can compare contradictions. And just like that, a data table is created. It's clean, structured, and it pulls directly from your documentation. And all it takes is a one-click export immediately to Google Sheets. For analysis on larger subjects, this can cut hours out of your workflow. The second feature is prompt-based slide revisions. NotebookLM could already generate slides based on your exact sources, but before, once they were generated, that's what you were stuck with. There was very little editing permissions. Now you can edit each individual slide with text prompts. You just click the pencil, and from there you can type in change the main color to dark blue, and it will instantly regenerate that entire slide for you. You can also stack revisions so you can get multiple edits done across the deck without having to constantly revise the deck. And here's the one that mattered the most for me as someone who uses PowerPoint a lot. You can now export directly to PowerPoint rather than a PDF. Then you can open the slides inside of PowerPoint and instantly finish up with the final touches. The workflow now is as simple as generate the slides inside of NotebookLM, make your revisions with the chat, and then bring it over to PowerPoint for the final touches. That's a presentation pipeline that usually takes hours and gets compressed into just a few minutes. Now, the third feature is the 4 audio overview formats. Audio overviews has always been NotebookLM's standout feature, transforming your notes into an AI podcast that you can listen to. But you only had one format, Deep Dive, a conversational type flow diving deep into all of your sources. Now there are 4. Brief provides a 1 to 2 minute summary. This is perfect to analyze everything before you head into a meeting. Critique is where 2 different hosts analyze your sources for weaknesses. They'll analyze your arguments as well. If you're working on an argumentative paper or a presentation, make sure you use critique. Then the third one is debate. This puts 2 AI hosts on opposite sides where they debate across all of your sources. This is perfect for when sources naturally disagree with each other. You can find out where each argument is coming from and then pick which one fits better with your narrative. And you can still further customize each format with more instruction. What to focus on, what's the tone, how long, you can customize a lot of different things. But the major downside with NotebookLM is that everything is always trapped inside of NotebookLM. Your tables, your slides, your audiobooks, everything was kind of stuck on one app. And if you've been with the channel before, you know I'm not a fan of that. But that was until now. This update, the biggest change out of everything is you can move anything over to Gemini. That means you can open a standard Gemini conversation, attach your notebook, and ask Gemini to reason through your notebook. It'll directly pull from your sources, and it gives you a different way to approach synthesizing information. Now, Gemini also has the custom gems, which are their own agents. You can add notebooks specifically to a gem, and they'll be assigned to only reference that source material whenever you're asking questions. NotebookLM does the thinking, Gemini does the building. That's the setup. Now, 3 months ago, NotebookLM was a premier study tool, but it has truly transformed into something completely different. 8 times more context, 10,000 characters purely for instruction, data tables, editable slides with PowerPoint, and so much more. I really encourage you go explore it yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and comment how you're going to use NotebookLM in your own workflows. I'll see you in the next one.